For Those We Cherish, authored by the Crimson Lord. Threadmark 1.1. One ship. Its sides trailing fire, its mechanical innards bared to the cold of space, it emerges for the Empyrean like a spear hurled out from the void. Lashes of warp energy dance across its hull, evidence of a failing Geller field. Long, twisting imprints have been carved into its heel, as though it had just finished a titanic battle against some great tentacled beast. The ship is called the Mater Sanguinium, the blood of martyrs in Low Gothic, and its crew has made the jump blind to escape the tendrils of the Kraken. For minutes it drifts in the dead of space, then painfully it wakens back to life. Lights flicker on across its bow and sides, dull embers glowing in the dark. Automated defense guns swivel on their mounts, seeking non-existent targets. The command bridge bustles with activity. Sensory sweeps are performed. Long-distance auger scans stab into the darkness. Information floats back in bursts of data. Slowly, ponderously, the battle barge begins to turn. It has found a destination. The forest is silent. There are no birds singing, no insects buzzing. Even the wind is silent in its howls. It is so silent that Brother Sergeant Ethan can only hear the beats of his twin hearts behind his ribcage. The lamenter steadies his breath with a mental command. He is secure in his Mark 7 plate Aquila pattern. The suit itself is painted charcoal black. Black for camouflage, black for penitence. In his hands is a Godwin-patterned combi bolter, the underslung multi-barrel, dark with recent discharge. Ethan monitors the power pulsing from the microfusion reactor on his back. He's shut down most of the extraneous functions in his armor. His prey's senses are inhumanely sharp. Some of them are already wary of his presence, bestial snouts sniffing the air. He is careful not to alert them further. The timing must be right, or the whole pack might escape. Ethan's visor display shows 4 blinking lights. One is for himself. The others represents his squad mates. They are currently red, signifying his men are moving into position. In better days there would be 6 more like them, 10 lights in all, a full tactical squad. What his helm's advanced diagnostic systems are telling him is a truth he already knows. There are no more full squads left in the Lamenter's chapter. The visor lights stop blinking. Then they turned green. Ethan immediately flushes power back into his system. His power armor responds instantaneously. False muscles through his armature flex and coil, motorized servos hiss and whine. Auto-sensors in his helm induates his mind with information. The Lamenter steps out from concealment, his weapon clasped solidly in his gauntleted fists. The creatures are already reacting. They're fast, but not Astartes fast. Ethan lines up the shot, squeezes the trigger. His bolt gun roars. The first round out of the barrel is a Kraken penetrator. It's designed to pierce the toughened slabs of armoplast. It will pierce flesh just as well. The round catches the alpha Beowulf directly under the jaw. It punches a fist-sized hole into its throat and keeps on going. It's overkill. More than overkill. But Ethan wants to be sure. He's seen the bigger ones take regular bolt rounds to the chest without flinching. The body begins to slump forward. Ethan has already moved on. His visor display lines up 2 more shots for him, targeting reticle planted squarely on inhuman forms. He takes them. Both are good, clean hits. One is a gut wound that excavates the contents of a grim stomach. The second contacts squarely with a Beowulf's shoulder and quite literally blows his arm off. The rest gun straight for him. Their unique musculature makes them strong, and the lupine gait makes them quick. Ethan notes the segments of bony plates that cover each Beowulf like spiked scabs. They won't stop a bolt round directly, but they'll deflect it enough that it won't be a mission kill. He notes the long sharp claws that end at each finger. They won't get through his sturdiest power armor, but if they swarm him within enough numbers, they'll eventually reach the spots not encased in ceramide plate. The area behind the knee joints, the sealed gorget underneath his helmet, and if they pin him down, he notes the powerful jaws and thick canine teeth. They can crush human bone. With enough bites, they can probably crush his too. The analytical part of his mind notes these details, processes them, and arrives at a conclusion in a nanosecond.
Close combat will be suboptimal.
In the meantime, the practical part of his brain has taken over. Muscle memory and reflexes drives his actions. His legs pound into the ground, striving for distance. He continues to shoot, fully automatic bursts, heavy 3-round spurts that hammer into the charging mob. He's doing severe damage, but it's not enough. The beasts aren't stupid. They're actively swerving as they run, trying to throw off his aim. They've learned. In the 3 months since the first gunship landed, they have learned that rushing a prepared Astartes battle squad from the front is tantamount to suicide. So they're trying to flank him, outmaneuver him. The older, more experienced ones have already diverged from the main group, aiming to cut him off. The younger, more zealous ones are taking the brunt of the fire, angling the bony parts of their body in front of them so they are at least somewhat protected. He can respect their ruthless cunning, even if he abhors them for their deviancy from holy humanity. The first Beowulf to reach him tries to bridge the distance with a flying leap. It's a big creature, almost as tall as an Astartes in full plate. Ethan slams his fist into it and sends it back down spalling. A blow like that would have liquefied every internal organ in a human body. The Beowulf falls and immediately starts to get up again. The Lamenter is forced to lower his boulder for an execution shot. A statico boom. This time, the Beowulf stays down. But in delivering the killing blow, he allowed the rest of the flankers to gain on him. The second Beowulf is already leaping towards him, its claws outstretched to slash and rend.
Now would be a good time,
he thinks. A flare of light erupts from the forest, as brilliant as the corona of an exploding star. The photolenses in Ethan's helm immediately compensates, shielding him from the worst of the glare. When the grim finally lands, it's not bone or claws or teeth that connect, but flakes of hot ash. Brother Malachile strides from his ambush point, flanking the Beowulf pack, the plasma gun in his hands, already flaring for another shot. He lances a second beam into the surprised mob, cremating one of the beasts outright and melting another into the floor with a secondary heat backlash. The Grim immediately react. They angle towards this new foe, deeming correctly that it is the greater threat. They rush forward, then jerk and spasm as bolt rounds crater their backs. Corin rises from his hidden position by the tree line. The bolt gun in his hands is a stalker variant. Corin has chosen to shorten the elongated barrel, but has kept the M40 targeting scope. He has, in essence, turned his weapon into a battle rifle, lethal at multiple ranges. His shots are pinpoint accurate. He's aiming for the places not covered by bone, armpits, bellies, the soft flesh of the throat. The choice is proving to be murderously efficient. Ethan adds his own fire to the mix. The brother sergeant has already reloaded once, standard mass reactive. He stitches a line of explosive shells along the front of the Beowulf pack, while Corin continues to kill them from the back. The Grim buckle and twist. Then they start burning when Malachile's plasma gun scorches javelins of pure energy into their midst. Together, the three Astartes catch the Grim in a brutal crossfire. They blast the creatures off their feet. They sear smoldering holes in them. They suppress them with liberal doses of weapons fire. They are properly hurting them, wounding them, killing them. but they're not the real killing power. That honor belongs to Brother Domitian. The heavy weapons trooper emerges from concealment, fat barrel cannon primed and ready in his hands. It's an oil black, pit bull of a weapon, lethal in utter simplicity. The standard belt feed and ammunition pack are missing. In their place is an enlarged box magazine, designed for extended operations in the field. Every round in the magazine is a metal storm frag shell. The Grimm are crowded together, herded into a tight mob by clinically applied firepower. The Emperor himself could not have presented them with a finer target. The Median lets loose. The heavy bolter jerks and bucks. Fish-sized shells are slung towards the pack. They detonate halfway. Cones of shrapnel buffet the Grimm in storms of hissing metal. The Median is merciless. He walks his fire through the Beowulf path. He shreds them, he flays them, he turns Grimms into chunks of Grimm. When the Median stops firing, he has expended half his allotted ammunition. He has also killed all the Grimm. The forest is silent again. Ethan raises a fist into the air.
Clear.
He speaks into the squad's foxnet. Malachile vents heat from his plasma gun. The magnetic accelerators on its back are glowing red hot.
Clear.
Corin rams in a new magazine and pulls the firing pin back.
Clear.
He voxes. There is a single survivor, a Beowulf that's missing its legs from the waist down. The creature is trying to drag itself away, back into the depths of the forest. The medium impedes its progress. The lamenter brings his heavy boulder crashing down on the creature's head. When he lifts his weapon again, the underside is coated with ichor.
Clear.
The Space Marines regroup in the center of the clearing. They have slaughtered at least 40 Beowulfs. Most of the bodies are beyond recognition. Testament of the heavy bolter's killing touch. Corin pauses for a relatively intact specimen. The remains are already smoking. He begins to bend down. Malachile notices this and tilts his head.
Brother, I've always wondered what they look like up close, behind their masks.
There is a hideous twisting sound as the lamenter pries the creature's skull apart.
Well?
The Median stomps over to join them.
Any the wiser? Yes,
says Corin, repulsed.
My curiosity is satisfied.
He rises and hands the mask to Ethan. The brother sergeant receives the bloody trophy and loops it with a wire around his belt. There are 3 more like it dangling from his hip.
Patrol's done. We're heading back.